the lovely Victorian hinterland, testing one of Triumph's 3-bike Tiger 900 range for 2024. This one you're looking at here is the GT Pro. There's the GT, which is the base model, and there is the Rally Pro, which is your much more dirt-focused bike, which Spencer's going to thrash around in the bush much better in the dirt than me. We all know that. That 24,790 price is 2,940 above the base GT for the GT Pro. Now that gets you a lot of good stuff. Let's go around the bike and have a think about it. You get electronic rear suspension. Now that's the duck's guts for starters. You get a centre stand. You get a quick shifter. You get a tyre pressure monitoring system. You get, more importantly than all of that, is an extra rider mode. Now what that means is, above all the settings that come at default, you can completely personalise your suspension setup, your traction modes, the whole thing. So find what you love and completely set it up for yourself. So all of that's just the mathematics. What about the poetry? Now let me tell you, if you don't get a southerly stirring at the yowl of a 3-cylinder Triumph at full noise, something wrong with you. Middleweights are the new category. People have worked out that the bigger adventure bikes are harder work. Now this bike gives you 79.5 kilowatts from 888 cc's triple. So no shortage of kilowattage. There's 90 newton meters of torque. So the bike's quick in the middle off the bottom. It's got tons of grunt. So I don't think you need anything bigger. 222 kilograms. This is not light, but it gets away from those big ones at 240, 245 and higher. You'd be amazed what 25 kilograms does to an adventure bike. Fuel range 425 kilometres. That's a great fuel range for 20 litres. I'm a big fan of that. I love cutting out big days and I like having a big range. The front is set up fairly soft and I would be adding some compression damping there. Highlight the Brembo brakes, big twin discs on the front, Brembo radial brakes, just fantastic. Triumph's always had a great line on braking. I don't know why, I've always thought that, and this one's no exception. Beautiful brakes. This bike's great on roads like this. It's wet here, so I need to be circumspect, but the power delivery with the traction control just means you can sort of nail this bike as hard as you like, within reason, of course. I'm not going to set any world records in the wet up here, that'd be pretty dumb, but I'm very surprised that for what basically is a road adventure bike, if there's such a thing, with things tall as they are, the bike is quite tight and nimble and operates very well in a sporting environment. I'm enjoying the agility of the bike in this smaller stuff. It's quick to turn in. It feels light to me. It's very light at the bars, and it deals with probably what you'd consider very much a B road, probably a C road, just in that it's so damn narrow and there's not a lot you can't see through the corners. The bike really is kind of at home here. There you go, guys. A great day in Victoria's hinterland on Triumph's Tiger GT Pro. Now it's time to go over to the Rally Pro with Spencer and have a look at the dirty one.
So unlike the GT, which Snag was just riding, this one is set up right for the dirt. This is the Rally Pro, the highest specification model. And the big difference is we get manually adjustable Showa suspension rather than the Marzocchi stuff on the road-oriented GT bikes. and that gives you 240 millimeters of travel at the front end and 230 mil at the rear. So quite a lot of movement there. We also get a 21-inch front wheel, wire spoke setup with tubeless tires, which is important. Those two things bump the seat height up by about 20 millimeters, but you do get some adjustments. We also get an Off-Road Pro rider mode, which switches off the rear ABS and the traction control on the fly, and we're definitely going to give that a fair bit of use today because we're hitting some serious trails befitting this bike's status as an off-road bike. I must admit we are cheating a little bit. We have non-standard Michelin Anarchy tires, but look, we're going to need it, I think, because it's the red clay. I've been out here before and that gets wet, fair dinkum. You may as well be running around on banana peels. But come with me. We've got all the other upgrades as seen on Snag's GT review, like the 13% boost to power, tech updates, new bodywork, quite a lot actually. So I'm very keen. It doesn't look like it's going to rain, so I think we're going to have a good day on the dirt. I'm going to try not to break anything. Let's do it. This is more like it. We're in Tiger Town now. Have to say I'm impressed early with this suspension package. Thank God we put on those Michelin Anarchy tyres, because I dare say on standard dual sport hoops this would be real squirrely. So much fun. So much fun. Fucking sick, Cam. Good spot. Good spot, man. Now this is getting steep. Whoa. Here she is. Oh, that's nothing. You don't want to ask too many questions about what's in this stuff. Does the job though, eh? Just stopping for lunch is really fun. It's really bloody fun. I heard some horror stories about this track we were going on, but I think that's when it's wet. It's actually just been a really perfect balance of challenging, but within my ability, you know. And I think that's an important balance to strike. You know, you want to get off the bike and go, yes, I did it, you know. But you also don't want to be breaking limbs, you know. Everyone's compromised there, everyone's balance there is different, but I'm really, really enjoying this. And I think a lot of that speaks to the really good stock suspension, Showa suspension setup on the new Tiger 900. It's mostly carryover, but it was good then and it's good now. I fiddled around with the suspension settings a bit, but to be honest, I mean, I can't even tell the difference. But it feels really good out the box to me. Yet again, it's becoming clearer and clearer why this middleweight adventure bike segment is just so popular. I mean, people are demanding real off-road ability now, particularly in Australia. And look, the big bore adventure bikes, it's amazing what they can do off-road, but you know, part of what makes a bike off-road capable is not weighing 250 kilograms, you know. In the real world, you're dropping these things, and at the end of the day, that weight doesn't go away, you know. And they're making these smaller engines work now. I mean, that thing's got plenty of power. The 13% increase we have with the 2024 model is obvious. And it's not just a boost to power. It feels more refined. It feels like a better motor. So I'm just really, really enjoying sitting in the sun and thinking about the ride so far, but we got plenty more to do. Hundreds of kilometers more to do. This is sick. I love this sort of stuff. Oh, very rocky. Rocky Balboa.
It's so physically demanding. I think people think motorcyclists, that, you know, people who don't ride, I think they just assume you sit on the thing and you let the engine do the work. Couldn't be further from the truth. So good for the mind. You got no choice but to concentrate, or the trail will bite. Woo! Oh, this is great. I had one of the Triumph Tech guys have a look at my suspension setup. Softened it at the front, bit of preload at the back. I don't know if it's made a difference, but it feels good. Oh. Oh. This is great. Woohoo! Pretty powerful. There's plenty of grip, but there's also plenty of power, you know. The rear wheel's constantly on fire. But it really remains quite stable. Get over this log. Easy peasy. Just soaking up those bumps like a motocross bike. A bloody heavy motocross bike. Woohoo! Hang loose! I know a trail, he says. Jesus! Don't know about all that, Cammy. Don't know about all that, mate. Do you reckon this will just stay here? Or?
I'll spin it around.
Oh, thank you, Cam.
Oh, mate, least I can do, bring me up here.
Cam, I know a spot, Donald.
Well, to be fair, I think this is the one who said I've actually never been up.
Yeah, yeah,
The one of those.
yeah.
Yes.
Hey.
It's a bit messy going up.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah. Cheers. Well done.
I am knackered with a capital K. But it's a good feeling, you know, like you got to earn this beer. And I feel like I've earned it today. Challenging, but unless you really push yourself in the bike, you don't really know what they're capable of. And I've ridden the Tiger 900 family before. The big upgrades this time around are engine, bodywork, tech. The chassis and the suspension, more or less unchanged. So I guess my takeaway is you can do so much with these things. I got up things today that I would have looked at and gone, nah, not happening. But get a bit of confidence, get used to the bike a bit, and you get a bit of mojo, you know. So I'm going to have a responsible amount of these, and we'll jump back on the bikes in the morning.
Now what?
pretty pleased to get up that stonking great hill. Didn't look as bad looking at it, but halfway up I was like, oh, if I've bitten off a bit more than I can chew here. Only just made it. But look, like, I was talking to the boys and, you know, in reality, 99% of people in the market in this segment aren't going to be doing things that gnarly, you know. It's so nice to know that they can. And you can challenge yourself and push these things further than you might think. So Snaggy's ridden the GT, the road-oriented bike. He liked it, by all accounts. And the Rally Pro, if you're going to do serious off-road stuff, look, this is the one for you. Let us know what you reckon. Which one would you have?